welcome to Hue at Home. It is a very special show here in the studio of Lennard Taylor. And Lennard, I know behind us it looks like a fashion runway. So how exciting is this? A fashion show right in your studio.
That's why I moved into this beautiful new space, because I could do this. I could host 100, 200 people in here to see a fashion event. I don't have to move all of my stock. It's all just right here and people can shop right on the spot.
Okay, so it is the launch of your spring collection. We are all waiting with bated breath. Okay, so what are some of the highlights?
So for me, this season was really going back to the basics. What really made me me? You know, what brought people to me over and over and over again? And it was these beautiful one-of-a-kind garments. So when I was designing this new collection, I really thought about my woman, my man. Where are they? What are they doing? I'd close my eyes and I'd put myself in their shoes. Like, they're at the cabin, they're sitting on the boat port, and they're doing all these things. The hot sun is beating down on them, so they want something light and loose and flowing that's breathable. And that's really what I went for in the collection.
Cool. So there are some highlights. I love the gauzy gray material. And you said it's linen.
It is a linen, yes. It's 100% linen. I bought it in Vancouver. This collection of the gray is all made of one-of-a-kinds, and it is a zero-waste collection. Every single morsel of fabric that was cut was used. So all the offcuts I used and made these beautiful flower petals and arrangements on each dress, so they're all one-of-a-kinds, really unique, staple pieces. And then if you see it and you're like, oh, I love that, I will make one custom just for you.
So when you're creating, and you are always such a wealth of knowledge, you have been now on, I want to say, more of an ecological, environmental kind of ideas now. Do you see it gaining speed? Because we've been talking about this, you know, like you mentioned, zero waste.
Exactly. My goal has always been to be from farmer planting the seeds for the cottons to grow all the way to the end person, everybody smiling and feel good, paid an ethical, real wage that they can live on, everyone smiling and feeling good about what they're creating. And that's what you get, and that's why you put on one of my garments. You just feel better. You feel that love that was put into the garment, and you also feel a sense of pride and ownership that you're part of making choices that affect our planet. My whole goal in the clothing industry was to transform it from day one. I wanted to be as local and sustainable and ethical before it was even cool to do that. You know, just for me, it was learning about the industry and how awful it is for their planet and how we can transform it by just a couple different things. And that's really what my collection is all about, always has been about, and will always continue to be about.
And you have been on the road now, being able to get out. How has the reception been to all of this, that what you've launched out to the world?
That's the most amazing part, is that in Winnipeg I've got a following, I've got people. Now that's grown to other cities. So I'm walking down the street in Toronto, or I'm out for dinner and somebody knows me or somebody else knows me. They're like, Lennard. And that's kind of the neat thing that's happened, is that it's branched out outside of our city, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, every time I go to Chicago or Toronto, Vancouver, all these cities, there's lineups of people to see me. I feel like a rock star when I'm out there, and it's really, you know, my heart just gets warm, and it's something exciting for me to look forward to. Is like, oh, I get to go to Toronto in a couple weeks and see all my clients in Toronto, and I just feel so fortunate that I get to be able to do that.
How do you do all of this? Because every single one of your clients wants your undivided attention.
Honestly, that's just part of who I am. It's working really hard. It's working every day, constantly reevaluating and also enhancing and really bringing my personal best to every day. Mm-hmm. So I have a really strong morning routine where I do my morning workouts, my meditations, my stretching routines, my writing routine, all these different routines that I've built my life around, and then I work really, really hard. If you ask my wife how hard I work, it's a lot, but it's what I love to do. If I'm working really hard, but it's something I love, then is that wrong? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. Okay, so don't go away. We're going to have more with Lennard talking about his take on a personal shopping experience. And I guess maybe it might be where a lot of people are going to go to now since we've come out of the pandemic. So I won't give away anymore, but don't go away. There's still more to come right here on Hue at Home. Welcome back to Hue at Home while we're in the cozy little customer service area of Lennard Taylor's studio. We should have a customer service sign.
Yeah, ding, 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 lights up.
Yes, and we were waiting with our number, but okay, this is where all the magic happens. Before the break, was alluding to the fact that your shopping experience is really important to you, regardless of whatever garment that a lady or a man walks out with.
Yeah, of course. The reason I moved to by appointment only is so that I could give that personalized custom experience. Everybody wants something new and different, but they want it to be for them. And that's the biggest thing. And I specialize in just looking at people and going, this, and this is going to look good on you. You've experienced it before.
Yes, seriously, this man can do that.
Yeah.
Regardless. Yeah.
And I know my fits, I know my size, I know exactly what I have and what's going to look good on you. So a lot of my clients will come, they'll make an appointment, and sometimes it's like 20 minutes before they come. They call up and they say, Lennard, do you have an opening? They come in, and they just go into the change room, and I just bring them the things that are going to look good. They're out of here in 25 minutes max, and it makes shopping easy, and that's really what I do for people. And then if it's not exactly right for them, then I just sketch it up what I'm going to do. I look at fabrics, choices, and then make it specifically for the individual. And that's the best thing about a customized approach and knowing the designer, because a lot of people, sometimes one of my clients called me up and she said, I'm going to be a mother of the bride dress. I need this. And I went, okay. And she's kind of, I'm thinking something like this and something like this. By the time she had made an appointment and came down, I had already made an outfit kind of roughly what I think she'd want. She tried on, she's like, it's perfect. I want this. And that's the beauty that you get when the designer knows you. They know your body, they know your type, and they know what they can do for you. But then also, all my off the rack, ready to wear. I've got it ready. The sizing's great. I go up to a triple extra large, but if that's not enough, then I go bigger. If it's too big, then I go smaller. I want to make clothing for everybody and every body.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it. I was going to ask you, if you, like a stranger came in right now, what do you first look at to figure out what is going to look good in your line?
I just look at the body and the face, and I look at what they're dressed in, yes, but not really a big factor. I look at their body type and their face, and that's really what I draw my inspiration from. When I'm sketching, I always draw the face first and go, what would this person want to wear? And I just pick things. I've had so many clients that have come and they didn't know what they wanted, or I pushed them into something that was outside of their comfort zone. There was one woman who said, I don't wear color. And I got her to try on something that was black with a little bit of color. Now she's full-blown wearing color. Every time she sees me, she's got a color on. And she's like, Lennard, you did that to me. You made me get outside of my comfort zone, made me feel beautiful in my own skin again. And now I feel comfortable that I can wear these different things. And that's the beauty that I get to do, is I get to create that confidence and help instill that in you, in your clothing and without your clothing. Because it's just about going to the core of who you are as a person, connecting to that, and then bringing that inner shine out.
Wow. Okay, so besides your knack for knowing what looks good, also where you're going to go to pass down all of your knowledge, mentorship, and, you know, it was part of your dream to, you know, get the future sewers, get the future designers up and coming and ready to go.
Exactly. You know, I learned a lot on the fly, and I've made a whole pile of mistakes that I wish no one else would have to do. And that's why I wanted to create a sewing operation and a schooling and teaching and mentoring people, so that I could pass on that knowledge, but also doing it in an effective way that makes sense, because at the end of the day, you've got to pay for your heat, your water, your lights, your rent. All these different things have expenses and costs. It's all about how you generate a balance between everything with a school, but you also have to have a tuition that goes with that, because hand in hand, you know. That's just the way that I've always wanted to be, and that's why I've got these appointments, so that people can book appointments with me for classes, for learning anything that you want. You know, the other day I had 27 kids in here doing an educational experience about the detriments of the clothing industry, and then into how we make it, and they brought their own t-shirts and we painted the t-shirts. You know, it was a fun experience for these, you know, there was 27 kids. It could be really for anyone. It could be 27-year-old grandmas. You know, we could have 27 grandmas in here painting. Why not?
No.
You know, what's the limit? There is no limit, and that's the beautiful thing about life.
And that truly is. So to wrap everything up in a bow, Lennard, all these years that you have toiled and you said made many mistakes, but at this pinnacle moment, in this big studio, the space that you wanted, the sewers back there, going to host a fashion show, it must feel pretty good. Pretty damn good.
It does. It feels amazing. You know, sometimes I pinch myself and I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's super easy to get caught up in everything that's going, and you get overwhelmed and you get too much of things. But a little trick that I learned from a friend of mine who is actually a 6-time world Muay Thai champion. Like, this guy's amazing. And he said, every single task that you do in the day, take just 30 seconds to be grateful for it. And he just gave me that the other day, and I've been using it, and I tell you, it's been just a game changer. I'm generally quite grateful for what I have, but that's just one little extra step, you know. Don't wait a whole week or whatever to think how grateful I am for this. Now it's after every task that I complete, it's like, all right, this is good.
It's all good. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the new spring collection, and book your appointments at lennardtaylor.com. Parting words, happy words for all of the beautiful ladies that you're going to be dressing this spring.
So the biggest thing to remember is to allow your clothes to speak for you. You are saying hello without even saying hello when you put on a nice outfit, and you're saying exactly what you represent with your clothing. Are you saying I represent ethical, sustainable fashion, or am I saying I don't really care about the planet and I want this cheap shirt just so that I can look good for this one day and then I'm going to throw it out? So what is your clothing really saying about you? And question it, and question your reality, but also be grateful for what you have, because not everybody can afford to have a shirt on their back, and we're the lucky ones that can. So just be mindful, be present, and be here now, because this is all we have.
Well, thank you so much, Lennard, and thank you for joining us here at Hue at Home. And go and make today the best day ever.